Welcome back. You're watching special post-budget coverage on ICICIdirect.com. I have with me a very special guest, Mr. Harsh Upadhyay, Chief Investment Officer, Equity, Kotak Mahindra Asset Management Company. Very good evening, Mr. Upadhyay.
Good evening.
Fabulous rally in the banking stocks we saw in post-budget. Your view on the ARC that has been proposed in the budget this time, and also a small bank recap of 20,000 crores.
We continue to remain very positive on the banking sector. There were two issues which were bothering investors in the last couple of quarters. One was on the asset quality pertaining to the previous corporate cycle, as well as issues related to the COVID scenario. And second point was on the slowdown in growth. I think these were the two issues which were bothering most investors in the market. The budget has clearly made sure that some of these issues are really addressed. For example, on the growth, I think this is a completely growth-oriented budget. Without really cutting down on the spend, government has decided to really pump prime the economy. And we believe that that is going to really lead to increase in credit growth over a period of time for banking sector. So growth issue is definitely addressed. On the issue of asset quality, I think there are a couple of points that I need to make. One is on the ARC and the AMC structure that government is envisaging, which clearly says that they are going to address this credit quality issue, the asset quality issue in the banks, which is in a way clogging the liquidity and the credit flow into the economy, because most of these banks which are sitting on some sort of bad assets are unable to really grow the book, and they are more focused on repairing the earlier issues. So to that extent, I think ARC and AMC will help them to really take out some of the bad assets out of the lending book. And over a period of time, ARCs and AMCs will manage that and eventually sell it to other investors. So I think the bad asset quality issue that is there in the banking system in India is going to get addressed through this issue. There are a couple of positives for PSU banks specifically. For example, while most of the private sector banks were able to raise money during the COVID time, public sector banks were unable to raise capital at that point of time. So compared to private sector banking system, there is a need for PSU banks to also look at raising capital so that they can grow further from these levels. And the 20,000 crore recap that has been announced during the budget session is definitely a good step in that direction, so that the capital is available to public sector banks which can grow further. And finally, it's a paradigm shift, I would say. Government has decided to privatize two state-owned banks. This is for the first time that they have taken up financial sector for privatization. I think that is also a good move for the consolidation of the entire banking sector and further growth from there on. So overall, I think this union budget has addressed some of the issues that were creating some sort of an apprehension over the banking sector very, very clearly. So to that extent, I would say that it's been a positive.
Let's talk about this investment. Target set at 1.75 lakh crore, little toned down from the previous year. But if we see the track record, government has not been successful in carrying out the disinvestment of the PSUs. 1.75 lakh crore, achievable?
Gitu, as you rightly pointed out, if you go by past records, clearly this seems to be a little ambitious, because in the past we have never been able to raise this sort of a money from disinvestment or privatization in a single financial year. While it is ambitious, I think it's doable. Doable for two reasons. Firstly, I think some of the privatization attempts that were made during the current financial year will definitely get done next financial year. So I think there are many privatization candidates which are at various stages of progress at this point of time. So hopefully that will help bridging this number somewhat next year. And on top of that, if market remains strong, then that also is conducive for disinvestment and privatization and to raise resources. And as we speak now, the market seems to be on a good wicket. There is enough liquidity from foreign funds, and also the fundamentals are visibly turning around. So overall, I think while the 1,75,000 crore target is an ambitious one, but it is doable.
Not so good news for the bond market. Borrowing would be very high. Borrowing program of the government is little on the higher side. The yields have started moving up. What are your expectations now? Is it a difficult task for RBI to manage all this?
See, the options were very, very clear for government. One, to cut down on spend and not support the growth. We would have been happy with the fiscal prudence and lower borrowing, but that wouldn't have helped the economy to really come out of the COVID crisis. The second option was to make sure that you continue to give growth support, and that's what they've done by going for a higher than anticipated fiscal deficit number and a glide path towards 4.5% by the end of financial year 26. So to fund that, they have not raised any taxes. So all that has been based on additional borrowings. So to that extent, yes, the yields have firmed up. But the assumption here is while yields may go up in the very short term, if growth really takes off, then that should be able to make up for higher yields at this point in time. And as it is, all eyes will be on RBI in terms of their actions in the next policy or otherwise, in terms of how they will manage the yield so that the cost of capital for businesses remains lower.
Do you see a need to realign your portfolio now that the budget is out?
We did have a growth and a cyclical tilt to our portfolios. That tilt will continue to remain in the portfolios, and also we will start to review our portfolio and look at the current earnings season. There have been several companies which have met expectations and also exceeded expectations. So from a bottom-up perspective, we'll review the entire portfolio and look at segments where the growth is expected to continue to be strong, and also wherever relatively the valuations are better off, we will remain in those pockets or continue to invest in those pockets.
What sector do you like the most?
We continue to have overweight position on cement, industrials, chemicals, and also private sector banking, I would say. So all of these have been doing well, and also there has been some growth support that's coming through the budget. So we believe that these sectors will continue to do well even going forward.
Thank you, Mr. Upadhyay, for being with us.